If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Lives on the Road subscribers and followers. I've told everyone that one of the things I hate the most is moving to a new location, one that I haven't been to. And it was reaffirmed the other day, well, just yesterday. I was watching a YouTube video, and I see these guys, and they're traveling all over the place, and they're just moving. And well, I was watching this one, he was packing up and getting ready to leave and heading out, and he's, boy, this is just a beautiful area. And I thought, yeah, it is. And then I got this uneasy feeling. The same uneasy feeling that I always get when it's time to move. Although I wasn't moving, I was watching him move. And they don't seem to worry about it like I do. Now, I get everybody is going to have their own little things about full-time living that they don't like, or about their dream that they don't like. It's just like a job. You may have the best job in the world, but there is something about that job that you don't like. I would rather, and I just proved it the other day, go from one campground to another one that I've already been to. And we did it the other day. It was over, we were at this campground, a couple months ago, a month and a half ago, something like that. And then we went over to Black Hills, and we stayed around there for a while, and then we came back to this location. Here's some of the things that I really have to struggle with when it comes to finding new locations. First, there's just the travel in itself. Now remember, I have to work, and I think this is where a lot of people don't understand my dilemma with a lot of things, is I have to work. I'm 46 years old, and I got to make money. I have to plan a lot of my activities around my job. In the morning I get up, I have to edit videos. In the afternoon I have to record videos. At about 2 o'clock, depending on what time zone, here it's 2 o'clock, I have to post a video, which takes an hour. And then in the evening, I have to edit some more videos. It's just my job. And I put in about 35 to 40 hours a week on my job, just like anybody would. So I have an online programming business kind of that I run, and I got to stay on top of that also. It doesn't take near as much of my time, and it's not so scheduled related. Anytime I travel, I've got to be able to plan around my work schedule. One, either I have to have plenty of videos recorded ahead of time, so I can just post it as I'm traveling, or I have to wake up in the morning, I have to edit a video, and by 8, 9 o'clock I can get busy packing up and leaving. Now here's the thing, is I got to be able to stop at the appropriate time, whatever time zone I'm in. If I'm in this time zone, I got to stop at 2 o'clock or a little bit early somewhere so I can post a video. Now that's not always as easy as you may think it is. It seems, when you're out here in the middle of nowhere, you may have to stop at a rest area an hour early just so you can be sure you've got the internet fast enough that you can post a video. So there's a lot of things that goes into traveling. One of the other things I have an issue is the amount of research that you have to do to live, to stay. This is your house. But it took a lot of research trying to figure out where we could stay, what had internet, what had water, where was water. So you go to freecampsites.net and you find a campground. Now there's hundreds of campgrounds in South Dakota, but then you have to really isolate that campground. Now you have to make that connection between the campground and internet service. So you're going back and forth from your internet provider to freecampsites.net, and you're going back and forth from campground to campground. Okay, so now you've figured out, okay, there's a great campground, I think that's where we want to stay, and it's got internet. What about water? Well, here in South Dakota, we've been very unsuccessful finding any campgrounds with water. So that means you have to try to research the town nearby. This campground, we was able to find on Google that the town closest to us, the city park, had running water. So that was a huge plus, but that means, I had to research that, and that took, several hours. Now, remember, when I'm doing research, I got to do it while my generator's running. I only get about 6 hours a day on the generator time. Now that seems like a lot of internet time, except while the generator's running, I still have to edit videos. So I got to spend that time to edit videos, and then I got to research the campground. It's not like I have an unlimited amount of time that I can do all these things. You can only stay here 2 weeks. Well, if you're going to plan to stay in South Dakota for a longer period of time, while you're doing that research, you got to continue to look around to make sure there's plenty of campsites in South Dakota that is going to accommodate you. And every time you find a campsite, you got to go through this process. Internet, water, groceries, another one I forgot about. Groceries is actually pretty difficult here in South Dakota from what I can tell. It's 80 miles to Rapid City from here. So that, I mean, that's quite the trip to go get groceries. So we tried to plan everything around Rapid City, and this one being the furthest away from Rapid City. Rules. Now, rules is a big deal. I just made a video about make sure you research the rules. You got to find how long you can stay in a campground. Now, in that video, I just talked about that some campgrounds, most campgrounds, is 2 weeks. A lot of people just depend on freecampsites.net to tell them that it's 2 weeks. Freecampsites.net isn't always accurate on that, and the one I pointed out in that video was over there in the George Washington National Forest in Virginia, West Virginia. You can stay there 3 weeks. You can't just rely on a free campsite and say, okay, I did my research. No, you got to check out the web pages of the place that run the campground itself. And in our case, it's mostly just national forest that we go to. So we have to find that area's national forest dispersed camping rules. And it's not easy to navigate in the national forest web pages. Just the other day, I was criticized because I am childish, they said. I realized it was a troll, but it's still a valid point. I was childish because I need to do a better job at researching the weather patterns in an area. If people understood my personality, that's all I know how to do is research and plan. Research and plan. That's what I do, and I still fail at it a lot out here. We have spent all of last year very, very cold. And so they were saying, well, if you would have done a better job researching the areas, well, we went to Florida for the winter. And really, Florida's temperatures wasn't much colder than Arizona. Now, I understand what you're all telling me, that Arizona has better temperatures than Florida. But if you go to Google and you type in January's average temperature for Arizona and January's average temperature for northern Florida is 1 degree colder, daytime and nighttime temperatures, than Arizona. So it was an equal bus. Florida was just extremely cold last year, so the research did me absolutely no good. But the whole state of Florida was complaining that it was cold. I mean, frogs were falling out of trees. It was so cold. All this research you do still may not accomplish it. So this is why I struggle so much with moving from one location to another location. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.